Good morning, everybody. Welcome into today's digital newscast. And we have Wright Gazaway here because he's working on another investigation. Right. This one was very interesting to me, very scary to see. Can you tell me about this? It's about a woman who bought gift cards. I know there was an issue there.
Yeah, it's a little out of my wheelhouse, but we got this tip from someone in the community who brought it up and said, hey, I think this is a story. They had seen it on Facebook. One of their friends shared it on Facebook. And basically, they had gone to a Fred Meyer and bought Amazon gift cards. This woman bought them for her husband's birthday. And when she got home to redeem them, she realized that the redemption codes had actually been revealed and had been scratched through, and then some of the letters had been destroyed. So she couldn't even put in the code.
She couldn't see the code at all?
She couldn't see the code at all.
Gosh.
So she quickly realized that something was wrong, so she went back to Fred Meyer, and that's kind of where her ordeal started, because Fred Meyer said, there's nothing by her telling, said, there's nothing we can do for you. You really need to reach out to Amazon. So we wanted to look into it. I think it's an interesting. A lot of people buy Amazon gift cards, especially the graduation gift card coming up. Graduation coming up, gifts. You get fuel points if you buy on there. So a lot of people are doing this for sure.
And one thing I noticed is that I feel like scammers use gift cards a lot to scam.
Yeah.
And one thing is there's really not many consumer protections for gift cards.
Yeah, and this we were struggling with, what do we call this? Is it a scam?
I guess
is it fraud?
not?
It's like a scheme. And to explain it, like, so the Amazon gift card.
Yeah, there's the numbers that, you go online, you type in the
exactly.
number.
And what I haven't spoken to the fraudsters, but what I believe they're doing is they're taking and this is when we went inside to buy a gift card. What they believe is that the scammers are grabbing them off the shelves, either taking them to the bathroom or taking them home even. They're unsealing them, damaging the code and then sealing them back. So you can't really tell unless you really try to lift it up.
Yeah, and
but
who
even
does
sometimes
that
you can't. A lot of people I think look and make sure it's not ripped. But the problem is once they reveal the code and record it and then they destroy it, it seems like they're relying on people that are giving them as gifts, and that might give them a month or so to check and redeem and check and redeem and check and redeem.
Right, yeah.
And then, but this lady went right back, and she was able to get her money back by talking to Amazon, and we touched base with Amazon, and that's what they tell people. Hey, look, first check the card, and this lady said she did. She couldn't even tell. But their advice is call Amazon to get your money back, not the store or wherever you bought the gift card. You should reach out to Amazon, and that goes for other companies as well. This is happening in this case with Amazon, but it could certainly happen with other gift cards as well. So their advice is to reach out. That's what the Federal Trade Commission says. Reach out to the gift card provider.
And has Fred Meyer locally, have they noticed this happening more frequently?
Fred Meyer says, I don't think this is totally uncommon for people to mess with gift cards. We went in to buy a gift card, and actually, to their credit, I looked under. I was making sure the code wasn't redeemed, and I ripped the card a little bit. So I went to buy it, and the cashier said, "Oh, I can't let you buy this. It's ripped." And I said, "Well, I just ripped it. I just did that." And then there was another one that John Michael, our photographer on this, was he found one that was ripped on the shelf, and then they took that and said, "Well, we can't let you buy it because it might be tampered with." And then the manager came over and said, "Yeah, we just had this customer who found 30 damaged cards." Which I skirted over that, but that's what the story is about. When this couple realized they had bought 2 of these cards that were tampered with, they went back to Fred Meyer and looked through the cards and found over 30 cards that had been scratched through.
Not what you expect when you buy a gift card to go or give it to somebody as a gift. Like, I can't imagine.
And that's the thing. If this, you open a gift a month later and you can't even redeem it, and then if you didn't, it can be really difficult. So Amazon's advice is really to check the card. And what these people did, going back to Fred Meyer and looking at all the cards, that's what they tell you to do. And if you see something tampered with, just take it to customer service, which is what they did as well. Because the gift card itself doesn't have value until it's activated. But once they activate it, that's when it can be a little trickier to get your money. Yeah.
Are these people are they just waiting around looking to see when the gift card is activated? How would you as even
I don't know other than
crime?
Maybe they're
so many questions.
Maybe they're checking it every couple days, and they're thinking, okay, if you buy a card today and you give it to your friend who is going to open it in a month, theoretically they have a month to check that code. And they might check it every day, and then the one day it's activated, they would redeem the money. But like I said, we haven't touched base with them.
Yeah,
we don't know who's doing this, and they don't seem to have any idea either. Fred Meyer basically said that they train their employees to spot fraud, and there are all these things for customers. But I'm not sure on a situation like this how much time or ability that they have to really hawk these gift card sections. If you've seen them, you've seen them at the stores. They're just wide out in the open. They're wide open, so there's not really any security or any sort of check there.
And it's interesting. I saw, because this is a problem in Maryland as well. There were some state lawmakers that were even talking about possibly introducing some legislation there for just some kind of standards that stores should have to follow, because it's becoming an issue across the country.
Yeah, and that's one of the ideas, is what obligation do these businesses have? I mean, I haven't been able to dig too deep into that, other than I don't believe that these gift cards are technically inventory. So I don't know how. I mean, they're tracking their inventory that has a value to them.
Because they don't have value until they're activated.
Yeah, and there is a push to make the grocery stores or wherever you buy these gift cards, to make them a little more responsible for what happens with them, because I mean, if there were 30 tampered with gift cards, and all of them were the celebratory Amazon gift cards that look like they'd be given as a gift. So
probably targeting the gift ones, like
you
you
would
said,
think
the
so,
30
yeah.
days. That makes sense.
Because I redeem them right away. I mean, I was redeeming that one in the car.
You had to make sure.
So I would, you would find out pretty quickly, and that's what this lady said. Was her advice is just redeem it right away. Don't wait.
And then tonight, your story tonight, we're going to hear from her more. So what time is that airing tonight?
That will air at 6 o'clock. So we'll hear about her, what happened to her in a little more detail, and then also just her motivation for. She's put it on Facebook. It's gotten a lot of reaction there, and then she spoke with us, and then so we talked about why are you going public? Why do you want people to know about this, and what's your heads up? And she really says because of the graduation season, people that are going to be buying gifts and things like that. And then we did touch base with Amazon, Fred Meyer, and we got some good tips from the Federal Trade Commission for what consumers should do.
Yeah, didn't even think about graduation season. But yeah, there are going to be a lot of gift cards that people are buying. So great time to air this story, and a lot of good advice that we need to follow.
It's been interesting, like really off the beaten path for what we.
I know. I looked at it. I was like,
it's a very consumer focused story, but we thought it was important to tell,
especially with all these scams picking up. So thank you for that. Right, look for his story tonight. And then the next story that I wanted to talk with you guys about. This is a big case. It's a Supreme Court case. So the Supreme Court is looking at a case. This is out of Grants Pass. They are doing oral arguments this morning. This is something that KATU has been following for a really long time. A lot of eyes are on this case. The case is going to decide how cities can enforce penalties on homeless people camping outside. So it looks at the 8th Amendment's ban on cruel and unusual punishment. If a city asking somebody not to sleep outside or giving them some kind of penalty for that, if that violates the 8th Amendment. So it's been going through the courts for years. In 2020, a U.S. district court ruled the city's fines were unconstitutional. City of Grants Pass appealed, and then in 2022, the Court of Appeals agreed with that initial ruling. So we will be watching for when this decision does come out of the Supreme Court. The arguments are today, but we'll have a full story on the arguments coming up later. And then my next story that I wanted to talk to you about, this involves Nike, a very big company here in the area. Nike is having some layoffs. We've spoken about this a few times, but Nike is having some layoffs, 740 people at its world headquarters over in Beaverton. Company said that this is the second phase of a mass layoff started back in February. So this time the CEO, John Donahoe, confirmed that the company does plan to trim 2% of its workforce. And we have Sarah Bagby in here for weather. Sarah, we're just talking about Nike. This is very interesting story. They're very upsetting, too, that some people from the area are going to be laid off for Nike, such a big company as well.
It is. It's also kind of surprising because for years they were Nike was known for having a lot of contract-based work. A lot of them, they weren't official employees, and so their way of not having to have layoffs was just, when the contract's up, you either renew it or you let everyone go and get new contracts. So it's kind of interesting they're not sticking to the contracts. They needed to go a lot further, I guess.
But they say the layoffs are going to be done by the end of the week. So
this will be probably a story in a week then.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be tracking that here at KATU. But Sarah, while I have you here, let's talk about what is going on outside. But let's take a look at what's going on outside right now. This is a live look. This is over at Mount Hood. It is still looking beautiful out there,
got that
Sarah.
Snow on top. It looks a lot like last week, even though it is a little bit less snow up there. And we are going to have really high pressure for the rest of the week. What that means for everyone is that we are going to have sunshine, so that's good. But we are going to have low pressure move in around Friday, so that kind of undoes the sunshine. We get a little bit of rain over the weekend, which is great for up on the mountain, though, of course, if you want to keep that ski season going. And again, look at these temperatures. When we're in the 50s, we're closer to average, but we're going to be in the 70s for the next few days. So we're going to enjoy that. It kind of feels like summer, actually.
Yeah, it is looking beautiful out there, Sarah. Thank you. I'm excited. I just want this nice weather to stay. I feel like it's the fake spring for the third time fine. But you know, I don't see it getting cold anytime
No,
soon.
just at night. You know,
Yeah,
if you
these
notice, it was
mornings,
frosty
yeah.
this morning. It's going to be like that occasionally when it's that warm.
Well, it's like when you have to put the heat on in the morning, and then
AC,
maybe I
then
don't need the
heat, then
AC.
AC,
no.
then
This
heat.
This
No,
is
we're
perfect
waiting.
temperatures. And Sarah, today, big day. It is Earth Day, and
There's a lot to talk about.
I guess it's not in celebration of Earth Day technically, but since it is Earth Day, we won this really cool award here in Portland, Mount Tabor Park. Named a 2024 Spotlight site by
So great.
Leave No Trace. That's an environmental advocacy group. Great news for the city of Portland and on Earth Day. So it's the only Oregon park to get this honor. And then it is one of just 24 nationally. So that is a picture of Mount Tabor Park. It is beautiful over there. So yeah, this is very exciting, Sarah. I'm very happy to hear that they got this honor. So let's talk about some of the 7 principles that the organization talks about. So plan ahead and prepare.
Yeah, I can put them
travel and camp on some durable. Oh, there we go. You got them on the screen. Perfect. Yeah. Plan ahead, prepare, camp on durable surfaces, and dispose of waste properly. Leave what you find. I think those are all some great tips and some great advice to get outside, but not leave the mark that you were outside. You know, you don't want people to know that you were out there in nature. You want to leave nature as it was. And speaking of Earth Day and just some fun activities that you can do for Earth Day here in Portland, there are quite a few, Sarah. I know there's a movie going on, there's some crafts going on, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I actually have them written down here just so I can go over them for you real quick. So the first one is through CEIC. So that one is actually only for another hour. So if you want to actually get involved with the actual cleanup out there, then you can still get there. And it's over on, and this is in Portland, this is over on Grand. You can just go to the Subaru dealership on Grand, and they are still cleaning things up for another hour. And then you can also go to Clark County. In Clark County, over by 164th, we also have a gardening kind
that
of
looks so
thing.
fun.
It's so great. They do this every year. We still have another hour there. And the cool thing about all of these activities I'm telling you about, most of them got full. These 2 I'm telling you about, they have a few slots left. So you can still get out there. You just want to move now. Also, if you want to do a fun activity, we have this. This is kind of cool. It's a movie tonight. It's free. And it's sort of about veganism, and it's called Transfarming. This is in Switzerland. They have a whole movie about it.
Well,
Free food.
yeah, talking about how eating vegan is better for the environment because of like the greenhouse gases that are emitted. I think I've read a few.
Yeah, it's
few
actually
studies
really
on that. It is
interesting.
interesting.
Plus, they have some prizes and free food, so that's pretty cool. And then lastly, the only other one that I thought might be of interest, because it's not until Thursday, so you have time to plan.
yeah.
This is really cool for the kids. This is sort of it's actually Garbage Patch Babies. So you actually leave with some sort of like fun little doll that you make, and so it'd be kind of fun with the kids. They're making it out of recycled materials, that sort of thing. So not too bad out there.
Yeah, and you know, teaching your kid young to recycle, that is always a good message, especially on Earth Day, and especially here in Portland where we won that 2024 award, so that's fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching on this Earth Day. Get outside, do something great. It's beautiful outside.
It
so
is. Have a
maybe
great
go to one
day.
of these events, the movie later.
Yeah, or do something around
Yeah.
town to help out. It doesn't have to be an organized event. Just do something
No,
for the
exactly.
earth.
And then Wright's investigation, that is going to be airing tonight. And then that Grants Pass Supreme Court case I was mentioning, we'll have a story on that tonight. So be tuned in for KTF 4, 5, and 6. Have a great day.